Hey guys, welcome to another edition of Bitrue's AMA. Today, we will be talking about one of the most exciting blockchain projects in the space, Coreum. Coreum is the first enterprise-grade blockchain, a new generation of blockchains that is geared towards enterprise needs, facilitating the launch of DeFi applications and protocols for businesses of any size. During this AMA, we will be talking about Coreum's mainnet launch date, new airdrop, and upcoming plans for Q1 of 2023. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our guest, Reza Bashash, co-creator and technical lead for Coreum, who will be talking us through some of these exciting things. Hey Reza, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing great.
That is very nice to hear. We're very happy to have you here. So just to start, can you
Yes,
please
thank you.
tell us, thank you. Just to start, can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and what do you do with Coreum?
Well, as some of you may know me, I'm Reza. My background has always been around technology, and before switching gears towards blockchain development, I was mainly active in the field of AI. And so I'm currently leading the tech side at Coreum and Sologenic. And in Coreum, I manage a team of about 20 developers.
Okay, thank you for sharing that with us. Let's move on to the first question of the day. For listeners who are not
Sounds good.
familiar, Reza, could you please explain what is the relationship between Coreum and Sologenic?
So basically, Solugenic is an ecosystem that's basically chain agnostic, and it aims to provide real use cases for the blockchain. It builds applications such as DEX, bridging, NFT marketplace, and it also aims to tokenize real world assets such as securities and commodities, anything that can be tokenized. So that's the aim for Sologenic. While Coreum is a layer one blockchain, it provides infrastructure for applications such as tokenizations, DeFi, CBDCs, gamings, and so on. So currently, Sologenic only works with the XRP ledger, but soon, Sologenic will also operate and utilize the Coreum blockchain as well.
Okay, that is very interesting. Now we know the relationship between Coreum and Sologenic. Okay, for our next question, we would like to know how long Coreum has been in development.
So Coreum has been in development for the past 2.5 years. I think the first year we really focused around the idea and its feature set, and the remaining we have been working on the development of the chain.
Okay, I see. So Coreum has come a long way indeed. And as we all know, with crypto, many in the space often look at a project's utility to judge its value. And as a project, what are some of the use cases for Coreum?
So we have pioneered a technology called smart tokens. Smart tokens enable anyone to create any sort of tokens on the chain. So whether it's FT, NFT, or hybrid tokens, they can be created natively on the chain. Smart tokens are lightweight and they are issued directly on the chain without the use of smart contracts. And so the benefits of smart tokens are essentially that they are deterministic. So that means anyone who's using them knows how much gas fees or how much transaction fees are required for such transactions. They're very lightweight and they can be extended with smart contracts. So, for example, a smart token has a set of default features with it, like issuing, sending, burning, and many other features. And if a developer wants to extend these default functionalities, they can attach a smart contract to a smart token and introduce their own functionality. So that brings a lot of different use cases for the chain. For example, financial institutions can use Coreum to issue things like stable coins, CBDCs, security tokens, or just use Coreum for remittances and any other applications within their field. Um, so Coreum technology actually allows the smart token technology allows for ISO 222 compatibility, which will be a requirement for financial institutions very soon. And so they are essentially done through the smart tokens. And Coreum can be used as a messaging system between entities like, say, financial institutions. They can communicate via Coreum blockchain and reach, agreements. And once that happens, they can transact. Other applications include like DeFi, lending applications, gaming, metaverses, and so on.
Okay, that is a good variety of use cases, including some of the very trending ones like DeFi, Metaverse. I think that was very well answered. So the next question we have here has been highly discussed recently. And we'd like to ask, has there been a launch date for the Coreum mainnet? And what does this mean for Coreum?
Well, that's a great question. So since Coreum is actually a community project, some of the supply has been airdropped already to other communities like XRP community and the Solo community. So which means that trading of Coreum tokens are currently live on the XRP ledger as an IOU. However, on March 24th, the mainnet of Coreum will be launched for public. So that means users who currently have Coreum tokens can bridge and swap their tokens and bring it on mainnet to pay for fees and to start building their applications. So essentially, the mainnet will go live on the 24th of March 2023, which is exactly in 1 week. And so we're very, very excited. Everyone has been really hard at work these past few months. And yeah.
We are very excited to hear, and we cannot wait. So people that are interested in this, please take note, March 24th, the mainnet launch. And from what we know, Coreum has always been about community. There have been talks about a Coreum airdrop for Coreum, Solo, and XRP holders. Can you share with us a little bit more about how this will work?
For sure. So the next round of airdrop is going to be around 150 million tokens. That is out of a total supply of 500 million tokens. So 100 million of this airdrop is designed and designated to current Coreum holders. And another 50 million goes to XRP and Solo communities as XCore tokens.
Okay, so the airdrop will be divided into the Coreum airdrop and the XCore airdrop. Thank you for sharing this with us. And we have another question very closely related to the airdrop. Reza, could you please explain to us what is the difference between these two airdrop, the Coreum and the XCore airdrop, and what is the airdrop ratio of Coreum to XCore? I believe that is a question that many wants to hear today.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have asked that question from me as well. So that's a great question, and I think it's very important to know the difference between Coreum tokens and XCore. So basically, Coreum is the native token of the Coreum blockchain. It can be used for, fees, and it's the native token that, like I mentioned, developers can utilize and build applications which will require deploying their tokens and paying fees in the main token, which is Coreum. However, XCore is a representation of Coreum token, and it's an IOU on the XRP ledger. So basically, one core is equal to one XCore. And so the total supply of the airdrop for the XCore is going to be 50 million tokens. And so that means 50 million core tokens will be locked in a smart contract on Coreum. And users will only be able to swap XCore to Coreum tokens um, when either one of these two things happen. Whether the price of the Coreum token goes above $10 and stays for 10 consecutive days above that. So that unlocks the contract, so users can swap their XCore tokens to core tokens. And the second way that XCore can be swapped for Coreum tokens is that if the price doesn't reach $10 and 2 years have passed since the mainnet launch, which is the 24th of March. At 2 years, that will be March 24th, 2025. So that is the second second scenario if Coreum price doesn't reach. So because a lot of people ask, what if that doesn't happen? Then after 2 years, this will be unlocked. So essentially, XCore is an option token. So we call it an option token that activates under these two conditions. And I think you had a follow-up question on that. What is the ratio? So the ratio
Yes.
really depends on how many solo holders and XRP holders open up a trust line with the XCore. So that basically indicates that they are willing to receive the XCore tokens. I think we have a lot of wallets that have already done that. And some of the exchanges have already announced, like Bitrue and other exchanges have announced that they are going to support the XCore airdrop for Solo and XRP communities. And then there are, I think, more exchanges are announcing as we move forward towards the snapshot date, which again is on the March 24th in a week. So it really depends. 50 million XCore is going to be airdropped to those who have claimed. So we can only know the ratio and the final number when the snapshot is actually taken. And we know at that point which exchanges have participated and which wallets have created the trust line. So we can sum that up and then divide 50 million XCores to that number, which will determine the final ratio.
Okay, that was very well explained. I believe that people after that are interested in this question will have a much clearer concept of how is it going to be, how the airdrop is going to be distributed, and the ratio of it. And thank you very much for explaining that to us. And the next question is, as a leading exchange, Bitrue is very happy to partner with both Solugenic and Coreum. So, what are some things that can be expected from this partnership?
Well, before that, we are really appreciative of Bitrue. Bitrue has always been supportive of our communities. They have participated for both the Solo airdrop and Coreum airdrop, as well as they are, in fact, doing a lot of other partnerships with us. And some of these partnerships are becoming a mainnet validator, which is very important for the community. And I'll address that later. And in addition to enabling deposits and withdrawals to the Coreum mainnet, other partnerships are also in talks, such as joint partnerships and marketing, and to make sure that both communities are benefited from one another. So again, Bitrue has always been supportive, and thank you for that. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Reza. We are also very pleased to be partnering with Coreum, and we hope that it could be mutually beneficial for us, for Coreum, and also for our community. Talking about our long-time partnership, we know that Bitrue has been an official validator for Coreum for a while now. And could you please tell us more about the mainnet support and the validator setup? What does it mean? What does it represent? And the advantages of being a validator?
So it's very important. Like I mentioned, being a validator on the mainnet is important because Coreum is a bonded proof of stake blockchain. That means those who hold Coreum tokens will have to find a validator of their choice, a validator that they can trust, and delegate their tokens with that validator. And a trusted validator is very important for the chain because we and everybody will know that they are going to operate their validator and their node and their stack, in a good manner, and to make sure that they are, servicing the delegator as well. So an exchange like Bitrue being a validator means that everybody who wants to find a validator can trust the same, can see that Bitrue's validator could offer the same level of service and uptime as how you guys operate the exchange. So really, the brand that you have built will also play a big role in how Bitrue's users want to delegate through the Bitrue validator.
Okay, I understand. Thank you for explaining. And we have more questions about Coreum, and we would like to know, why did Coreum choose to build on Cosmos? Could you please explain the reason behind this for us, please?
Yes, for sure. So when I mentioned that in the first year of sort of R&D phase of Coreum, we have looked at many different technologies, different blockchains, and we analyzed the possibility of creating a completely new blockchain from scratch. And then while doing so, we realized that the Cosmos ecosystem, or the Cosmos SDK, offers a lot of the main building blocks for a decent and a modern blockchain. And the different components and the communities were very important for us. So as you can see with Cosmos blockchains, the development is progressing really well, and each blockchain is sort of geared towards a specific use case. Like, for example, you have Osmosis, that's very focused around decentralized exchanges, and you have other blockchains that are doing their niche. So together, all these blockchains are going to change what essentially blockchain is going to be in the future. That's why it's called the Internet of Chains. And so the position of Coreum with the Cosmos ecosystem is that Coreum intends to become the tokenization hub of all IBC chains. So now let me tell you what IBC is. So IBC is basically a protocol that allows for these blockchains to be interoperable with one another. So you can send tokens on Coreum to another blockchain that has IBC integrated. And there are a huge number of IBC-based blockchains, and Coreum is one of them. And many other Cosmos-based chains are also IBC compatible. So that means from the get-go, Coreum will be able to interoperate with all these other chains. So let's assume that enterprises, financial institutions, or companies who want to tokenize things like stablecoins, CBDCs, and anything that can be tokenized can do so on Coreum, and their tokens can freely move across all the other IBC chains. They can move to be traded on a chain that's specifically designed for DEX and so on. So we also think that the Cosmos ecosystem is growing really, really fast. There are more blockchains that are coming out with the Cosmos stack than any other stack today. So the biggest community of developers are now shifting focus towards Cosmos. We are seeing today that developers for example, WASM contracts are kind of taking over Ethereum virtual machine smart contract developers, and that's a really good sign. Very good and positive and powerful companies are collaborating to this ecosystem. Those like Cosmos Hub and Informal Systems, and there's so many other ones, Cosmos. So everyone's like sort of contributing to this whole ecosystem. So it's not just one company that everything depends on. And that's why we built on Cosmos SDK. It's been proven, and we think Coreum will be successful with such stack. That given, Coreum has basically been optimizing the Cosmos SDK code for its own use. We have also contributed a lot to the Cosmos SDK, and for example, we found like serious bugs that have been fixed since, and other contributions. So I think the fact that all these chains coexist together and they have all one goal in common is very important. I think you will see in the soon future that blockchains will move towards um, you know the IBC the IBC methodology and Cosmos based chains. That's why.
Okay, thank you, Reza, for sharing your insights about the future of blockchain and IBCs. And also, I believe that building on Cosmos gives a lot of options and flexibilities to the whole Coreum community. So we have another question for you. That is, we know that Coreum will the staking of Coreum will be available after the Coreum mainnet launch. So could you please share us more details about the Coreum staking?
Yes, absolutely. So staking is one of the biggest um, and most important factors of the Coreum blockchain because it's a bonded proof of stake. It means that anyone who has the Coreum tokens are encouraged to stake their coins and tokens with a trusted validator. So these trusted validators can be picked by the users. So if they trust Bitrue validator, they can delegate through Bitrue validator. If they trust other community validators, and we have seen a huge number of validators. To be specific, when we announced for different operators to become a Coreum validator, we have received about 1,500 requests, and to become a validator. And so we had to send instructions on how it's done and so on. So right now, the test net of Coreum has about 120 validators, which is really, really good. It has more validators that some of the blockchains that are even on mainnet. So that's a very good indicator, and that means the users will have the option and the choice of choosing and picking any validators they trust. However, in a bonded proof of stake, trust basically means trusting the validator to be operating as the user expects. It's not like that they are giving away or basically lending their tokens to the validator. If the validator goes out or it's just disappears, that means the users will not lose their funds. They can just redelegate it to another validator, because it's important to collect and get the rewards through these validators. And if a validator is offline, that means the user who has trusted that validator will not be getting the rewards. um, but again, if that case happens, the user can just redelegate to another validator. So that's why it's very, very important for users to start staking. And where they can stake, that's another question. They can stake directly on chain. So there will be a lot of supporting wallets, and I think that some wallets have been announcing their support for Coreum, like the Leap wallet, and Cosmos Station will come soon, and I think Kepler, and Descent is also a hardware wallet. Even Ledger devices work with Coreum, and so they can start staking directly through their own wallets. We will provide some guides and tutorials, and I think that's also in the works right now. We want to make sure that happens before the 24th, so users know how they can stake their tokens if they self custody their Coreum tokens. If a supporting exchange like Bitrue has the staking enabled, then users can directly stake through these exchanges, and there will be a list of exchanges that will be published, and they will announce their support for Coreum staking. As mentioned, the more staking happens, that means the more secure the chain will become. So we encourage everybody basically to stake, and not only to get the rewards, but to help Coreum to become a more better and a more secure blockchain.
Okay, I understand. So I see that the validators has a very important role in the Coreum staking, and for the next question, we'd like to ask that after the Coreum mainnet launch, what will happen to the Coreum on the XRPL chain? Will these two chains be running in parallel, or how is it going to be?
So as I mentioned, because all Coreum tokens will have to go to the Coreum mainnet because they are required there to be staked. The Coreum tokens on the XRP ledger will remain as IOUs. So those who wish not to proceed with bridging their tokens to mainnet can still hold their tokens, but they are considered to be IOUs and are just I think are only valid as their value, which whatever that value has, and they can be traded on the XRPL. So the staking does not apply on the XRPL; it only applies on the mainnet. But to answer your question directly, yes, they can coexist on both blockchains. Ideally, we are asking everyone to basically move their tokens to the mainnet. However, we might, not be able to force everyone to do so. Um, in the future, not too long future, but very soon, the bridging will be will become two ways. So the users from Coreum can also take their Coreum tokens from the mainnet to the XRPL. Currently, they can do it. Like they can, use even Bitrue to do that once the mainnet goes live. But at that point, when I'm saying this, the Coreum tokens on the XRPL will become wrapped Coreum tokens. So um, it will be a different token than what Core is right now. It will be a wrapped Core token.
Okay, cool. So it is recommended to move the Coreum to the mainnet after the mainnet is launched, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I understand. And currently, is there any example of any exciting projects that is already building on Coreum or is preparing to build on Coreum? Could you please give us a few examples that is particularly exciting for you or for the community?
I think all projects are exciting when so two things happen. One is we found that a lot of community projects started building on Corium without us even knowing that's happening. And so that's really exciting and amazing, and that basically shows there is a quite a good potential. They see a good potential for their applications on Corium, so hence they are building these applications, such as wallets and so on. And then the second thing was that we launched a grant wave, I think last year, and so a lot of different applications and companies applied and developers applied. We picked a few of them for the wave one, and then there's the wave two that's happening. And I can just tell you that all of them are my favorite projects. And we have projects that are doing messaging on Corium, which that's to my interest as well. Like, you can send email through Corium, from one wallet to another wallet, a secure emailing system. So that just shows that Corium is not just for tokenization, but these teams are using and utilizing smart tokens to transfer messages on the chain, and that is really exciting for me.
That is very exciting to hear. And I understand very much when you say that it's hard to choose a favorite one or some favorite ones when it's all very outstanding projects. I totally understand. And another question we have is, as you said before, that you have a team and also the whole community. And we know that every project has a dedicated team behind the scenes. And we'd like to ask currently, how big is the Coreum's team? And are there any plans for expanding the team in the future?
Yes, that's a good question. I think, as Corium is a community blockchain, we encourage anyone to join forces and start developing either decentralized applications or start building and introducing new features directly for the main chain. So right now, the current team of Coreum developers are about 20. And so these developers have been with us for quite some time now, and we're really grateful for their work as to be the initial developers of Coreum blockchain. Um, and so these are just the developers. We have other departments that are business, business development, partnerships and growth, and marketing, and other departments within the foundation as well. And I think Bob Ross has just announced that they have opened a new department that's for directly expanding the use cases of Coreum blockchain for enterprises like CBDCs and so on. So that's also very exciting, and we're hiring. So any developers, anyone with specifically with either Golang skills or Rust skills, are more than welcome to submit their profiles, and we can have them as one of the core developers of Coreum blockchain.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and we also know that Coreum is hosting an event in LA, the Core Nova event. And could you please introduce us? What is this event about? Tell us more details about it.
Yes, I think this is a very interesting event because it's basically the celebration of Coreum Mainnet, and so we wanted to celebrate it with some of the people who have worked really hard, like developers and validators and partners. And it's just basically getting together and having some fun and talks with all these partners. It's happening in LA on the 24th, and I think it's an invite only event. There have been other participants like the Solo OG groups who hold the Solo OG NFTs and so on. But this is just a get together event and celebration event.
Nice. So for listeners that are based in LA, don't miss don't miss out this event if you're interested in Coreum and you're looking forward to know more about them. So great, Reza. Thank you for explaining that to us, and we are very pleased to have you as our today's AMA guest. And for Bitruers that are looking forward to the Coreum airdrop, we inform you that Bitrue will be supporting the upcoming airdrop to users on Bitrue who own Coreum, Solo, and XRP. For Coreum holders on Bitrue, a snapshot of Coreum will take place on March 24th at 4 o'clock UTC time. And if you wish to take part in the airdrop, please make sure you're holding Coreum at that time. Coreum is available for trading on Bitrue paired with USDT. And for Solo and XRP holders, we will soon launch a dedicated website for you to participate in the airdrop. Please stay tuned for further updates about the XCore airdrop distribution on Bitrue by keeping an eye on our official Twitter account. Also, we remember to check out our flexible staking program for Solo. So thank you again to Reza for coming to our AMA. Do you have any final comments that you'd like to leave us with?
So thank you so much for hosting me, Olivia. I just wanted to thank the community for being supportive of Coreum, for being with us while we have been in development, and I hope many great years to come with with Coreum. And I wish developers luck developing with Coreum, because I think it's going to change everything, and it's going to be the future. That's my personal opinion. But thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Bitrue, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Reza, and thanks to Coreum and Sologenic for coming to the AMA and sharing all this information with us. And for more updates about Coreum and their upcoming plan, please follow them on Twitter. And this will be the end of our AMA today. Thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you in our next AMA very soon. Bye bye, Reza. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.